7 o'clock on Monday, April 12th, and I am calling the Human Affairs Committee to order via teleconference. As chairwoman of the Human Affairs Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I'm confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We are using Zoom, and the meeting link can be found on the agenda as well as on the city's website. You can also join by telephone by dialing 1-929-205-6099 with a meeting ID of 893-7412-1181 and a passcode of 999999. The public may also view this meeting on Comcast Channel 16. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have been provided on the City of Nashua's website at nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and Nashua Public Library. If anyone has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that will be taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call. Let's start the meeting by taking roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Alderman Wilshire.
Alderwoman Kelly.
I'm here, I'm alone, I can hear everyone.
Alderman Harriet Gathright.
I'm present. I'm in the room alone. I can hear everyone.
Alderman Karen.
I am here, I am alone, and I can hear everyone.
Alderman Clee.
Alderman Clee let us know that she was having internet issues and would not be able to come on tonight.
And Alderman Wilshire is here. I can hear everyone, and I am alone. That's 4 members present.
Thank you. I also see Alderman O'Brien and Fire Chief Rhodes. Okay. We will call for public comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on tonight's legislation? Just checking. I don't see anyone here but us. There's no presentations, no communications, or unfinished business. New business resolutions.
Before us tonight is Resolution 21-122 relative to the acceptance and appropriation of up to $1.5 million from the State of New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services for COVID-19 vaccine aid. I would like to make a motion to recommend final passage of Resolution 21-122 by roll call.
All right. Motion is for final passage. Who is here to speak on it from the firefighters? Or does anyone from the committee have questions? Oh, there we go.
Good evening. It's Assistant Chief Steve Buxton. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Did you want to give us a quick overview of what this is?
Yeah, so basically this is just the agreement between the city of Nashua and the state of New Hampshire for us to be able to staff the vaccination clinics at the state. From the federal level, the state of New Hampshire is actually charged with running those sites. So we can't bill FEMA directly. So we have to go through the state and then the state will bill FEMA. And this is just the memorandum of understanding, I guess, is the way I understand it, that sets up the mechanism for us to be able to collect those funds. As many of you know, since they stood up that vaccination clinic, both NFR and NPD have had many members working the site. And obviously we don't have room for that in our budget, but we are working to be able to help them sustain the vaccination effort in our community. So They're upwards of putting, I think last week they were around 1,900 shots in arms every day. Today was their first day down at Sears at the Pheasant Lane Mall. And they're hopeful that within a week, there'll be upwards of 2,000 to 3,000 shots per day that they'll be administering. So there's still a lot of heavy lifting to be doing, but this legislation just basically establishes a means for the city to get the money they're spending back.
Great. Thank you very much. Anyone from the committee have questions or comments? Alderman Wilshire.
Is this, through you, Madam Chair, to Deputy Chief Buxton, is this overtime or is this just, how are these funds being spent by the city? I know you're there and you're manning things, but can you give us a little info on that, please?
Go ahead.
Yep. As per the collective bargaining agreement and FLSA laws, basically anytime one of our members is working beyond their normally scheduled hours, it is at their overtime rate. We have everything from the 2-year employee to the 15-year member that's working down there. It is quite a heavy lift. There is a mandatory list and it rotates through the schedule as far as that goes. So the rates of pay, while there's a little bit of a difference there, it is all overtime pay basically.
Okay, just thought I'd ask that question, and thank you for all being there and doing your part. Appreciated.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to say that although not being a member of this committee, I do support this and I will support it when it comes before the full board. And I think Assistant Chief Buxton would agree. These firefighters did have the very important position to, once the shots were administered, to make sure nobody had any type of reaction. And from what I understand, fortunately it wasn't major, but not to say that there wasn't some people that did not have reactions to it. And it was good to have the professionals there in the fire department able to mitigate those particular circumstances. I do know that they even stepped beyond the call of duty and did the work of directing the public and keeping so many shots in arms. To keep that number, the reason is such a positive is because of their influence. And I would like to be on record to thank them. I know this is above and a little bit above and beyond the call of just dragging a hose, but it's another example, Chief, that you can relay back to your chief and to the members at large, that as a city, we greatly appreciate the extra work that the firefighters have done. And like I say, I will support this to make sure there's no holes in your budget to make sure everybody is compensated and participated. But again, thank you so much for stepping to the plate during this pandemic and doing such. Thank you.
Are you all set, Alderman O'Brien?
Thank you. Yes, Madam Chair.
Alderman Gathright. You're on mute. Linda, you're on mute.
Sorry,
You're good.
I have the same sentiments, so that's what I give. And I just want to say thank you as well. I always say we have the best here in Nashua, so you can relay that back to the chief as well, that I truly appreciate our fire department. I wish they were still doing the ones, helping people with drugs. I really wish that was still in place. I thought that was one of the better, not better programs, but it was a program that was worked very well for people that were still out there and trying to get help for their habits. But I understand we have to move on sometimes.
All set, Alderman.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, could I?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you want to respond?
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for their support. I do believe the city of Nashua invests very well in public safety across the board. And that, as I say to some of my people when we visit off the island, we get to see the examples set in other communities. We do very well here. and we take care of our community very well. If you were to visit the site, you'd see firefighters doing all sorts of different tasks to what Alderman O'Brien's point. Sometimes it looks like they're directing traffic or checking people in, but truly we're hired there as medical observers. So us just by default wandering around the crowd, it's kind of when we were at National High, when somebody would beep their horn stating they were in distress, it was just closest person to that vehicle who would get there and triage things and start the process. So I'm sure a similar type setup will be taking place down at Sears. So while we are taking on other duties at these clinics, the main purpose of us being there is as medical observers. So, but thank you very much for all of your wonderful support for public safety in the city. Is greatly appreciated.
All said. Yeah. Alderman Wilshire.
Just one more thing.
No,
You
no, you're
know,
fine.
firefighters, you guys stepped up for safe stations, stepped up for the pandemic. You're reliable, you're dependable, you're awesome. So you can pass that along too. Thank you.
Of course. I was actually going to chime in with something similar. Just, I think everyone has said it, but I think, you know, it's been a year. I know that everyone has had an additional workload, and especially the firefighters in our community have been continuing to step up. So seeing them help in the effort to hopefully get back to normal, obviously we appreciate all that you do and are excited for somewhat back to normal for everyone. So thanks for doing your part.
Thank you very much.
Anything else from the committee? All right, I think we can call the roll.
Madam Chair,
Oh, Alderman Karen, sure.
well, I don't want to be left out, but everyone
Go
has
for it,
said
June.
everything that I wouldn't have, but I was not at the high school for when I got my shots, but I heard nothing but positive comments from everyone that had gone there, Chief, and I think it's a credit to you and everyone who works at the fire department to step up and help out. Unfortunately, it's been a long year and almost a year and a half, and we're moving along, and I think kudos goes to all of you. And I concur with everything everyone else has said, so thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We're excited to hopefully get back to some level of normal here in the near future, and we appreciate the opportunity to help our community.
Good.
All right, is everybody else set? Okay. Alderman Wilshire.
Thank you. The motion before us is to recommend final passage of resolution 21-122. Alderwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Alderman Harry Gathright,
Yes,
Alderman Karen,
Yes,
and Alderman Wilshire votes yes. We have 4 yeas, 0 nays.
And that motion carries. Okay. Thank you for being here. I know that we're going to give an oral report tomorrow so that we can have this taken care of tomorrow evening. So we will do that, and it'll be on the agenda tomorrow evening.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. We have no new business ordinances, nothing tabled in committee. Anything for general discussion from the committee? I will just re-announce. I know that we're still meeting on the 19th, sorry, as well for the the CDBG allocations, because that also has a timeline. So we'll meet again next week. Thank you for being able to show up twice. I appreciate it. All right. I don't see any public. Anyone want to make any additional remarks? Alderman? Okay. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Motion is to adjourn. Alderman Wilshire?
Alderman Kelly,
Yes.
Alderman Harry Gathright,
yes.
Alderman Karen,
yes.
Alderman Wilshire votes yes. We have 4 yeas, 0 nays.
That motion carries and we are adjourned at 7:15.